First up, we have a presentation from South Harz Potash. South Harz Potash, trading under the ASX code SHP, with a market capitalisation of 11 million, is a potash exploration and development company with its flagship project located in the South Harz Potash district region of Germany. Presenting for the company today, we have Executive Chairman Len Jubber. Len, welcome back, and please take it away.
Today's theme is hidden gems, and that's certainly an apt description of South Harz Potash. So we don't have much time. Let's get straight into the story. The picture in front of you was the theme of our announcement a couple of weeks ago, the planned acquisition of our neighbouring property, the existing Solstedt mine, and you can see the shaft. And on the right-hand side, the picture of the underground workings that we're looking to incorporate into the South Harz project, the Omberger project, which truly transforms it from a greenfield project to a very exciting brownfields project. Paul, if we go to the next slide, please. This is the important standard forward-looking statements and disclaimer. I'll let you read that in your own time. Very important, and it does allude to, in the last paragraph, the recent announcement that we made with regards to the landmark Solstedt mine purchase, Omberger pre-feasibility study, release dated on 22nd of May 2024. Thank you. Getting into the story and why we believe this is a compelling natural resources investment opportunity, cognizant of the fact that viewers are seeing quite a diverse range of opportunities today, and this one is in the natural resources. Just in summary, we have a tremendous advantage by way of our geographic position in central Germany and proximity to export ports, as I'll highlight to you. We have perpetual mining licenses, and I'll take you through that. These are quite unique. So just in summary, these are permanent mining licenses, very unique in the world of mining. We have transformed the project to a brownfield development through the planned acquisition of our neighbouring mine, Solstedt. We have industry-leading low environmental impact through the way that we've designed the project. Our permitting pathway is clearly defined, and likewise, we made an announcement in the last 3 to 4 weeks regarding the successful first stage permitting of the project. And then we also have this growing demand for fertilizer and food for a rapidly expanding international global scale. So moving on. So this is just briefly, one of the key aspects of the project is our location in Central Europe, in Germany to be precise. You'll see the location over there. Now, this is important from two aspects. One, firstly, on the left-hand side, zeroing in, you can see the existing mining area, potash in this part of the world, previously East Germany, now unified Germany. It was one of the key potash producers globally over a 100-year period, and mining still exists substantially from that part of the world. Importantly, our location in that central zone of that target area allows us to feed into not only Europe and the broader Europe, but also access ports on the northern side, Rostock, Hamburg, Bremerhaven, which will enable us to be able to export to other notable areas such as Brazil. Thank you. So we spoke about the perpetual mining tenure. So just to let you, just for those that aren't that familiar with mining, this means that we have quite unique permanent mining licenses. On top of that, we also have the situation where we don't have any local or regional or federal federal royalties, which means that we don't have that drain on our cash flow. The picture over there on your right-hand side highlights the scale of the project. We acquired some 10 years ago a database containing 308 historical drill holes in that particular region. Just to put it into context, what is that worth in today's terms? When we 2 years ago did some twin drilling to confirm that historical data, it cost us $5 million per hole to conduct that drilling. So you can see the value of the database that we acquired, and the dark green areas in particular are the perpetual mining licenses. The light green areas are the exploration licenses. So a very substantial asset that we hold. Thank you. I spoke about the brownfields concept. So what we have, you'll see on the green area, on the schematic on the left-hand side, the green area is what I refer to as the perpetual mining licenses. The area titled Omgeberge was the focus of our PFS that we recently announced. And you can see immediately adjacent to that, the Saltstedt area with the blue outline. Now, the importance of that is that that was the source of historical mining over a period of 50 to 70 years. Mining concluded there just before the turn of the century. It is still currently in operation as a backfill area, and our interest lies in accessing the working shafts and the remnant material that could be mined, and also our opportunity to access the Omgeberge area. So this takes the Omgeberge area from what we would refer to as a greenfields mining project to a brownfields mining project with the substantial cost efficiency and time schedule advantages associated with that. With regards to the acquisition, you'll see on the right-hand side, previously announced that we have agreed non-binding agreement at this stage, a 40 million euro transaction fee. Very important, there are no upfront fees to be paid, and we will be looking to convert that transaction to a binding arrangement with subject to satisfactory due diligence, consents of relevant government agencies, as I said, negotiation of a definitive agreement, and payment is only due once we commit to actually building the project. So very important, it'll coincide with future capital raising and commitment to the project. Thank you. So very briefly, there's a lot of information on this slide, and I encourage you to have a look at our website and the detailed announcement. But this just outlines the world-class aspects of this particular project. It's nameplate 1 million tonne per annum muriate of potash. So that is potash that you'd be using in your garden and on crops around the world. We have a 2-decade initial operating life at Omgeberge, which is only one of the 5 licenses that we hold. And this gives us the opportunity to get a foothold into the long-term development of potash production from the South Harz project. Thank you. From a attractiveness as a capital investment, you can quite clearly see that this is a big project, and therefore we have been very upfront in stating that we will pursue and are talking to parties about becoming partners in this particular project. You can see very substantial NPV, pre-tax NPV of just over 1.3 billion. You can see the pre-tax internal rate of return, the very substantial project net cash flows, again, pre-tax 3.64. So you can see this is a very big project in an established mining area, and with attractive financial metrics that we're looking to source a partner to help us to take this project forward. Thank you. This is a very busy slide, and I won't be going into all of the detail. What I'd really like to highlight is that the mining and processing that we'll be looking to embark on in the South Harz region is simple and well understood. It's been conducted over a century of mining. We're doing nothing new over here. We'll be taking the existing practices and procedures that are tried and tested, and we'll be applying that. We will be looking for other input from areas such as Canada that have progressed technologies. But, we're doing nothing new here, so it's tried and tested, not only in terms of technology, but also in terms of a geological ore field. Thank you. Very importantly, and increasingly becoming a burden for, many projects. In this particular case, we have very low environmental impact. We have sustainable operations by way of, where we source our electricity from, and very pleased to say that we are leading, the industry in terms of how we have designed this project. We have low impact, as I said, because of the mining practices. It's underground. We've been able to design the project such that we don't have any waste piles on surface, and that's pretty unique. And that's through being able to use the opportunity of acquiring Saltstead and using the underground voids there for backfilling as opposed to putting salt waste on surface. We're also able to, through our processing flow sheet, avoid the discharge of any brine waste. And so, the environmental practices over here make this a very attractive investment proposition for future potash production. Thank you. From a permitting in Europe point of view, and I know that this has, often been of concern to people with regards to permitting in Europe, very pleased to say that our reception and the way that we've worked with local authorities, regional authorities, has been encouraging, to say the very least. The process is well defined and scheduled, and very recently we submitted an application towards the end of 2023. The requisite time frame for the regulator to review that application was 6 months, and bang on schedule. We received confirmation from the regulators, and that was recently announced, that our first stage regulatory approval had been favourably assessed, and that we can now move on to stage 2, which is referred to as Framework Operational Plan approval. So we have found the permitting process in Germany to be very reliable, very transparent, and we remain confident that we can work within that framework to get the necessary approvals to move the project forward in due course. Thank you. Just stepping back again and reminding you of the scale of this particular project. We focused in the recently announced PFS on the project development plan for the Omgeberge project, which is on the top left-hand side of the left-hand diagram. That amounts to a resource of some 378 million tonnes. To put that into perspective, that all of the green areas, dark green and light green over there, amount to 5.3 billion tonnes of potash resource. So we're very excited about the entrance to the project via the Omgeberge deposit, and even more so by what lies ahead in future to unleash the potential of that existing district. And you can see in red the historical mining of potash production, some 200 million tonnes over that century that I referred to previously. Thank you. We're just the next steps, where to from here. We recently had some changes where we had some restructuring that resulted in positioning the company for focused review of the PFS, and in an environment where the potash market has, somewhat come off the boil. We have lots to do to be able to complete the Saltstead due diligence and to convert the project to a binding agreement. We'll be progressing our permitting activities. We'll be conducting value engineering activities on the vast amount of work that we've already done. We'll also be looking at the larger scale, as we referred to previously, We are seeking a project development partner based on the development work that's been done to date. And, we're looking forward to moving the project forward and in a measured way. Paul?
Thanks, Len. Great presentation. Got a few questions here, so let's try and get through them. First question here is, what is the current status of permitting for Ongeberge, and what are the permitting requirements going forward?
So from a permitting requirements going forward, we have completed the spatial planning process. Basically says that based on the location, the geometry of the project, the regulatory authorities are very supportive of moving forward. And in the way that we've envisaged, there are things that we need to consider as we do so. We will be taking that approval into the second stage. We have more detailed work to be done, fairly typical of what you do around the world. That'll coincide with the DFS. We're not seeing any thing that'll inhibit the project going forward, subject to doing all the detailed work.
Gotcha. Another question here. How important is the acquisition of the neighbouring Solstead property?
It's transformational because, Paul, what it does is that we have a tremendous resource, as you can see, but that required a lot of extra work in terms of infrastructure, shafts, gaining access underground, the need to put stockpiles on ground and on surface and so forth. Acquiring the property next door, if I had to flip it around, if you can imagine that you're an existing operating mine and you're able to acquire the license next door to you that enables you to expand the life of your mine, that is very substantial. So this unique situation over here is the opposite, because we're looking to acquire a mine that is currently being used for backfilling, as a very successful business. We're looking to acquire that infrastructure, both the void space, the remaining material that could be converted to resources subject to further work, and the operating shafts, which will translate our greenfields project. In other words, we need to put in all the infrastructure to a brownfields project where we have all the infrastructure. So this totally transforms the Ongeberge project and potentially also the broader South Harz project. It really changes the nature of the investment opportunity.
Gotcha. The question here, how is the freight disadvantage relative to Highfield or BHP to be countered?
Well, if you look at the nature of where the project is, and I strongly recommend people have a look at our website. We have some very good material there, courtesy of a company called Verify, that gives you 3D rendering of where all the infrastructure is. Our particular project lies underneath an autobahn. We're right on a railway siding, electricity infrastructure. And so we will be able to take our material, put it onto rail, and take that less than 300 kilometers up to the ports on the northern part of Germany, whether it's Rostock or Hamburg. So that's if we're looking to export, which we will be looking to do as well. But having said that, our immediate target would also be Europe, and we're very centrally located to all of Europe. So we are positioning ourselves to be both a significant supplier to Europe, but also through the northern ports to other parts of the world. And we're quite comfortable that we compete very favorably, by the time that we get to, prospective clients' gates with other producers globally.
Len, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time today, and you have a great weekend.
Thanks very much for the opportunity, Paul, and for all of those that dialed in. Much appreciated.